Hey, how are you?
All right, I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm pretty good. Yeah, just living life, Paris.
Great.
Well,
Amazing.
okay, so the presentation, I'm
Yeah.
Rebecca. I'm from New Zealand, and yeah, I don't know, like in 2016, I went to France on an exchange with AFS. Like, I was just in Nantes, in like a little city in France, for
Okay.
about 5 months, and pretty much it was like the best 5 months of my
Yeah.
life, pretty much, like not to be dramatic or whatever. And actually, because of that, now I'm living in France, and I'm actually studying in France, in Paris.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm doing like political science at La Sorbonne, which is a university in Paris.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, so that's, yeah, there we go. That's pretty much it.
Amazing.
Brief.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I was just gonna wind back a bit, like to back when you were in school. At what point did you decide that you wanted to go on exchange?
That's a really good question. I actually don't know. Like, I don't know. Ever since I was really small, I was always like, love France. I was more like obsessed with the cliche of France, like Eiffel Tower, Paris,
Yeah.
like all that. I
Right.
didn't actually know much about it at all. It had always kind of been in my head. Like, I'd seen people come to my high school and like give presentations
Yeah.
about like the time they went abroad, the time they went like on exchange. And I thought, oh, like why not? But then I'd always kind of like ruled it out. I was like, oh, it'll be too expensive. I was always someone who got like super, super homesick. I was like, no, I'll like get too home. Like going to France is legit on the other side of the world from New Zealand. So I was like, oh, nah, it'll be too hard. But then I don't know, it kind of became a reality when like someone in my class, in my French class, actually decided to go on exchange. And I was like, oh, well, if she can do it, I suppose, like, why not me?
Yeah.
So I asked her about the organization. She went with AFS, just like me. And from then, I don't know, I just, got some more information and I was like really keen, kind of just jumped straight into it. My parents were like, well, okay, like
Yeah.
what's gotten into our daughter, like what's happening? And from there, I just, the rest is history.
Awesome. So, how old were you when you left? Like, had you finished school, or were you like
Yeah.
middle of?
So I just finished year 12, so I was 17. Yeah, and so I'd left in September. So that with high school, pretty much like I just finished level two. I had to get like all my credits of level two before leaving. And then since I'd only stayed for 5 months, I got back just in time to start year 13. So
Okay.
that
Sweet.
like worked out pretty well. And I was back for my last year in high school and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, how was school in France? Because it's quite different, right? Like, I
Oh,
heard
for
it's really long
sure.
hours.
Yeah, oh man. So yeah, actually everything's very different. So even yeah, every single day, in New Zealand you start school at like 9, end at 3, like more or less. And every day it's the same, more or less. Whereas in France it like completely depends on your class, on what class you're in, what year you're in, and everything. So like for example, if I remember correctly, on like Monday I started at 10 and I finished at 4, but then like Wednesday I started at 11, finished at 2, like every single day was different. Then I saw him the Thursday. It was like the most annoying day ever because I'd start school at like 8, so
Yeah.
pretty early, and then I'd have class until like midday, and then from midday until like 4 or 5, I had no class. But then from 5 until 7, I had class. So I was just like, what's the point? I was like, why am I here like for the whole day not doing anything? But every single day was different, and also like a big thing that was like kind of a shock for me. Like they didn't really have homework, which I was like, okay, like cool,
Yeah.
sure. But then every Friday they had an exam. And I was
Oh,
just like, okay. So it was like pretty intense. Like every Friday we had an exam and I was just
yeah.
like winging it, like not knowing much French. I was just like, I'm just gonna like wing this as much as I
Okay.
can. Yeah, the hours were different. No
Mhm.
uniform because my school in New Zealand, we had to wear uniforms, as most schools are. But yeah, in France, we're like, wear whatever you want, which was like cool. But then also every day I had to like think about what I was going to
Yeah.
wear. And I was like, oh man, like you with the uniforms, we don't have to have this problem. Yeah. And, eating in like a cafeteria, which is like different as well. Yeah. Like obviously, since we don't have a uniform, they're more chill on like how you can look and stuff. Like you don't like, in my high school in New Zealand, we had to wear our hair up. So like here it was like chill. We could just kind of do whatever we wanted, which was nice. People could express themselves more or whatever. So yeah, so that was good as well. Man, like it's quite different because I was in kind of the equivalent of year 12, so it was like premier. That's what it's called, and pretty much from about year 11, so from second, you have to choose kind of like what you want to specialize in life. So it's like quite a big choice for like a 16-year-old to make.
Mm.
So pretty much you can go into like the literature class, the scientific class, or like the economics class. So I was in the literature class, which I was kind of just put into anyway, but that worked out really well because I'm really bad at like maths and science. So I was like, cool, like that works out well. But yeah, it's like, do you specialize in kind of a subject from the age of 16 pretty much?
Right.
So yeah. And also the school was it was like non-mixed. Oh no, it was mixed, sorry. So which is like, you know, girls and boys, everyone
Yeah.
together, which was a change also from my school in New
Like
Zealand
you
where
go
it
to
was
an
just
all
a girls'
girls
school.
school.
Yeah, I
Uh,
went to an all-girls school, so that was a change. That was cool, yeah.
okay, cool.
Yeah, but
So
man, there are so many different things I could say, but that's pretty much, yeah.
yeah, I feel like we could just talk for hours on this. But so what was your host family like? Did you stay with one the whole time?
Yeah, yeah. So with AFS, we just like normally, if all goes well, you just stay with one host family for the entire experience. So yeah, so that's what I did. I stayed with a really really lovely family. Honestly, we got along really well.
Mm.
So in my family, there was host mom, host dad. I had a host brother who was a couple years older than me, and there was also I had a host sister, but actually she was on exchange in Poland.
Oh,
Actually, so I had a room. I kind of like replaced her in a way, like so I actually never got to meet her. But
yeah.
it's funny every time I go and visit, like I still like keep in contact with family. I still go and visit them, but every time I visit, we always manage to like miss each other. Like she's always either like away working or like now she's away at uni and stuff. So we always end up missing each other. We're just kind of like, okay, one day we'll meet. But yeah, so that was the family. They're like so lovely. We got along. We got along really really well. So that was a plus. I'm really lucky with that because I did have friends who had to change host families. Yeah, some people did have like drama and stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we're quite lucky with that.
Cool. So did you get to go to like any other places or any other countries while you were on exchange?
Yeah, so I didn't actually get to go to any other countries when I was like no countries in Europe, but with the host family we did explore France quite a bit. So you know, Nantes it was kind of in the Brittany region, in the Bretagne region. So we went around there quite a lot of times with the school. We went to Mont Saint Michel, which is this beautiful like
Yeah.
castle up in Normandy. It was amazing. We went to Paris, of course. We went to Disneyland actually in Paris, and
Oh, nice.
that was really cool. I went down south. I went to Montpellier to visit actually the girl who was in my French class back in New Zealand. I went down to visit her, which is cool. We like kept in contact and stuff. She came and visited me. Yeah, but with the host family, I definitely explored quite a bit of France. And also with the school, like we had field trips every now and then. Like we went to obviously Mont Saint Michel. We went to just like different towns in the area for different like festivals. Like I was in the cinema class, so we went to like film festivals around and
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, I definitely got to see a lot of France, which was really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool because you get to go to like not the typical tourist places and you get to see like proper like France, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely like feel like in as kind of like a French person. Like it's cool because you're on exchange, like not as a tourist. You just get to live like day-to-day
Yeah.
life. You get to go and see things as like a local. So yeah, that's really good.
So like how was your French? Because you had already done like French lessons or like you took French in
Yeah,
school. Could you
yeah,
understand
yeah,
when you got there or
yeah. So the French that you learn in like high school in New Zealand and the French in France is so different. Oh my gosh. Like I was like pretty confident like before I left. I was like, yeah, you know, like I've had like 4 years of French, you know, like I've got this, I've got this. I was like,
yeah.
I like won like top in French for that year or something. So I was like, yeah, I've got this, you know, like, but then actually once you arrive, it's just like, oh my gosh,
It's like
like I
completely
just remember
different.
people like talking, it's
Yeah.
completely different. I was like, oh my gosh, like yeah, all the French that I learned just like I may as well have learned nothing because like that was speaking so fast and like so much slang as well, just like
Yeah.
yeah, but I definitely my French improved a lot. Like I was like from the start, I thought I was like I'm only there for 5 months, so I just really want to make the most of this. I really want to get the most out of this experience. You know, like I'm only going to be here for a limited time, so I really like it was kind of a goal of mine to get fluent by the end of the 5 months, which I did. Like fluent, you know, like more or less fluent. But I was like, okay, I'm happy with it. It just came down to like really like working hard. Like it was, I suppose it was really tempting at the start to talk to my family in English,
Oh,
and
yeah.
like talk to people in my class in English because of course they also wanted to practice their English with me and stuff. But I was like quite adamant. I was like, no, like I'm here to learn French. I really just want to speak only French to people. even if at the start it's frustrating, like I have like awkward moments, or like when people try and explain something 3 or 4 times to me and I still don't get what's happening. At the end of the day, I was like, no, I really want just everyone to speak to me in French. I really want to like try and get kind
Yeah.
of what I'm thinking across in French.
All right, cool. So yeah, I guess at the end of your exchange, when you went back, so you went and like finished year 13, right? Then did you go straight back to France, or like how did you,
Yeah.
what was it like?
Yeah, so like I remember when I left, I was so upset. I was like, I'm gonna miss
Yeah.
France so much. Like it's so cliche, but I'm just like, oh, like I fell in love with France. You know, I was just like, oh, I love the language, I love the culture. Like I just love life there so much because I was like more homesick for France when I was back, and I really felt that. I was like, I feel like my place in France is in France. You know, like I was so upset, and like even coming back to like my last year in high school, year 13, back in New Zealand was honestly like one of the best years of high school, like, but I was still missing France so much and stuff. And I was adamant as I left, like when I left France, I was like, I'm coming back, like I'm definitely coming back. I'm gonna do a gap year, like because I still didn't really know what I was gonna do, what I was gonna study or anything. So I was thinking, okay, well, I'll do something for a gap year. I was thinking maybe I'll like I was already planning to visit some of my exchange friends in their countries, and I was like, oh, I might as well like go back to France while I'm at it. Like then like the idea of becoming an au pair like came up, and I was like, okay, why not? So yeah, so what I did is like after year 13, I worked pretty much full time for about 6 months, 7 months,
Yeah.
and then it was in June 2018 when I left New Zealand after about like 6 months just like working full time.
Mm.
And yeah, and then I went to France, but on the way I visited exchange friends in Mexico, in the States, Canada, Iceland, just visiting some of my like
Yeah,
best
that's a
friends
great
from
thing about
exchange and
exchange. Like
stuff.
you get to know so many people from like all
Oh
around.
yeah,
Yeah.
you always have a couch to crash on like anywhere in the world, which is great.
Yeah.
And then yeah, then I just went back. I found a host family to au pair for, and that was like such an amazing experience as well. And since then, like I was actually only going to come back just for 1 year, but obviously now it's like I'm on my third year here
Okay.
since
Are
then.
you same family, or have you gone to like different?
Yeah, so I stayed with my au pair family for a year and a half. And they were absolutely amazing as well. Like we still keep in contact and everything. And then after that, for the past 6 months or whatever, obviously COVID changed a lot, but
Yeah.
I've been working as a nanny, so pretty much it's like an au pair but live out. So I live separate now. I live in a student residence, and I just like work. I've just been working pretty much once again, like a lot, just to start saving up for uni and everything.
Yeah.
And I'll be starting uni actually just in a couple of weeks now. So
Oh, right.
yeah.
Exciting. So, like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Like, so you're doing like an actual degree, or is it like a course?
Yeah,
Or
yes, I'm doing an extra degree, which is pretty insane.
how did you
I'm
like?
doing
How
pretty
does that
much
work? Like, how did you apply?
so
Must be
a
long.
lot of work,
Yeah.
a lot of work, a lot of process. Oh man, because one thing I've learned about France is that the
Yeah.
administration process is like impossible.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a mess. Pretty much, like everything's on paper. It's a lot, but like way back in January, pretty much, or not even, it was like in December, I submitted my application to like 3 different unis.
Okay.
Also, as like a non-EU student, it makes everything so much more complicated.
Yeah.
But yeah, I submitted and I got into my first choice, which I was like really happy about. So I'm pretty much doing a degree in political science and also the Arabic language
Oh, Arabic.
at La Sorbonne.
Nice.
Yeah.
Why Arabic?
So, good question. Yeah, so it's kind of a mixture of things. So, my degree, you need a major and a minor. So,
Okay.
my major is like international studies, so like political science and law and like all that. Plus, a minor needed to be a language. So, at first, I was thinking, oh, Spanish. I've always wanted to learn
Yeah.
Spanish, but for Spanish and German, you needed to have like previous
Ah, okay.
knowledge, and for English, I couldn't because I'm an international. Oh, well, I'm an English speaker, so
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed. So I was like, okay, fair enough. And so that left me a couple other options like Arabic, Mandarin, and I think Italian, and some other options. And I kind of like narrowed it down. I was like, why not Arabic? Because like
Yeah.
like
That's
I
interesting.
want to go into international relations later,
Yeah.
and I was like, I feel like knowing Arabic would be really helpful. And also, I like a challenge. I always like a challenge. So I
Yeah.
was like, no, it's a completely different alphabet. Like, why not? I thought, it'll be interesting. It'll be hard, but hey, I'm like, why not?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
are you studying in French?
Yeah. So I'm
Oh, wow.
studying all of which
So
is It's going to be
Like,
interesting.
would you say you're like completely fluent now?
Yeah, I would say that at this point I can say that I'm like completely fluent. So I'm like, yes. Like I suppose after my French, after my exchange was up to like B2 level. Like I took the DELF exam, which is like a national diploma. I don't know, just like placement test
Yeah.
for it, just seeing what my level is. And so I was at B2, so I was quite happy with that. And then now I'd say I'm at like maybe a high C1. I'd say. I don't really know. I don't know exactly. I haven't taken another test since, but that would be like a
Yeah.
guess. It's actually really good that I took that like language exam because I thought I was like, oh, it'll just be interesting to see like what my level is after my exchange. But it's actually really good that I did that because I needed that exam to get into uni, and I needed at least a B2 level to get into uni. So I was like, we've already done that. Here's like that's just one less thing to do for the process.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was quite happy about that.
I feel like you're looking very like Parisian, like with your shirt.
Oh, thank you. It's true. Every time I put this on, people in my residence are like,
What outfit for
"Ooh,
you?
like Kate Parisienne, like you look like such a
Yeah.
Parisian." Yeah,
Yeah.
just blend in with the locals.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like living in Paris is like really romanticized, but is there anything that you don't like about it?
So many things. No, like I love Paris. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's a favorite. It's honestly like my favorite place on earth. I love it so much. But there are definitely a lot of things that I really don't like. You know, like I'll just say to anyone coming to Paris, just don't put your expectations so high. Because yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, it's an amazing city. There's so much like culture, so much like such beautiful architecture, and like the food's amazing. You know, everything's amazing. But then at the same time, there are, especially in like touristy areas, I'd say there's a lot of like mass tourism. There's a lot of like scams, a lot of pickpockets. Like my friend just the other day got her bag stolen. You know, like just like she's actually with me now, so she's cracking up. But yeah, you know, it happens. It happens to everyone. You know, it's just kind of the thing. Like you've got to be really, really careful. I suppose also coming from New Zealand, we're kind of used to like
Yeah.
I don't really like chill vibes. You know, like yeah, everything's fine. Like everything's fine. You just kind of automatically trust everyone. In France, I've learned kind of the hard way that you can't trust everyone. In fact, like I trust like if someone comes up to you, I automatically like kind of close off to them. Like you're just like, what do you
Yeah.
want?
Like,
Like
maybe
why are
not-
you coming up to Paris? Is can be quite dirty, which I suppose just comes with any big city.
Yeah.
And plus like the metro system. I mean, the metro is not bad actually. It's not that bad, but it like smells really bad sometimes. Like I'm just like walking through the metro and I'm like, why does it smell like pee at the moment? Like what is going on? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, just yeah, there are definitely like highs and lows. I'll definitely say that the highs, like you know, are better than the
Outweigh.
lows for sure. But yeah, they outweigh them for sure. But yeah, it's definitely not the perfect city. I suppose the perfect city doesn't really exist. I suppose people just got to keep that in mind if they come to Paris because so many people come just with like high expectations. Like you said,
Yeah.
it's like really romanticized. I actually heard of like some people come to Paris and their expectations are so high and they get so disappointed that they actually get like physically sick because of it. It's called like the Paris syndrome or something. I don't know if it's legit or not, but I've heard that so many times. I'm
Yeah.
just like, wow,
Cool. Well, that's pretty much it. That's like all my questions.
perfect.
I don't know, do you have like a YouTube
Yeah,
you want to plug, or I don't
yeah. Oh
know,
yes,
people follow
follow
you?
me on Instagram.
Yeah,
Follow me on Instagram.
the link for
I
Instagram.
don't like yeah. I'll look it down below. Like I don't even know what's my Instagram. It's like Rebekah underscore beard or something. I don't really know. But I suppose just one thing. I'll just like you know I'm watching. I don't just
Yeah,
like guys like come like go on exchange. Honestly,
yeah,
I can
that's
safely say
I
it was
mean,
like the best. It was the best
yeah,
like choice I've ever made. Pretty much, it changed my life completely. Without my exchange, I would not be living in
yeah,
Paris. I would not be studying in Paris right now. I wouldn't be
yeah,
bilingual. I wouldn't have met pretty much all of my friends, even my friends like back in New Zealand, the ones that I'm really close with. I met after my exchange. So
yeah.
I suppose like I can safely say that my life has completely changed for the better thanks to
Yeah, it's
exchange.
crazy
So
how like
do
a
it.
decision you made when you were like 15 or 16 is gonna like impact your whole entire life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
legit. It's like crazy when you think about it. But yeah, I'll definitely recommend it. So guys, do it.
Right.
Do it.
Cool. Yeah, everyone go to
Yeah,
Paris.
do it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I might have to move to Paris then.
Yeah, do it. After
Yeah,
COVID, you know,
I don't
come
know,
on guys.
I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I think everyone like a lot of people do like au pairing and like
Oh, it's
that
definitely
kind of
possible.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Even if like people saying like I must say exchange is pretty expensive. So even if maybe it might be a bit too expensive, there are different other ways. There are so many other ways just to move
Right.
to a different country, whether it's au pairing or like volunteering or so many
Yeah.
different. So like look into it, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, thanks so much for your time.
No worries.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.